Hello dear one, and welcome to my channel. My name is Faith. In our today's tutorial we are going to learn how to make a newborn sweater size 0 to 6 months. So what we need in this project, we need a crochet hook, and I'll be using two different sizes of crochet hook. This is a 3.0 millimeter hook and this is a 2.0 millimeter hook. We need yarn. I'll be using a fingering yarn. The brand is Robin. It's a Kenyan brand. It's also machine washable. And the work is made up of 4 panels. So I've made 2 of the camera. This is the front panel and this is one of the arms. So I'm going to show you how to make that sweater. So we also need a measuring tape for taking measurements here and there, and we also need a pair of scissors. So without wasting any time, we will start by our 2.0 millimeter hook. So to begin, we are going to start by making a slip knot, and you're going to chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15, and then we add one more chain. So into the second stitch you're going to place a single crochet stitch. So by the end you should be having 15 single crochet stitches. Let's meet in this other end. By the end you should make sure it's 15 stitches because it should be equivalent to this other piece. They should be the same, so you have to counter check. Just make sure you have 15 single crochet stitches. They are so tiny, but so this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So we are right. So you're going to chain 1, turn your work. Into the first single crochet stitch you're going to make 1 single crochet stitch in both loops, but for the rest in the middle we are going to do the single crochet back loop only. So let's meet in that other side. I'll show you what to do in the last stitch. To our last stitch we are going to grab both loops and make our last single crochet stitch. So this work is repetition of this row 2. So the first stitch, grab both loops, and the last both loops, but the 13 in the middle you're going to do single crochet back loop only. So you will continue making your stitches until your work is 7 inches long. So let's meet when our work is 7 inches long. Seven inches, we are there. Correct. So you're going to chain 1, and with your pair of scissors you cut the yarn, and on top here we are going to make single crochet stitches, and the total should be 54 because this first panel has 54 single crochet stitches, so it should be the same with this one. So make sure they are 54, and the stitch we are using is in multiples of 2. So just make sure any number you have is divisible by 2. That is another important thing you should note when making crocheting using this pattern. So you're going to chain 1 here and make your first single crochet stitch, and by the end, as said, we should be having 54 single crochet stitches. So let's meet when we have 54 single crochet stitches. So after making our 54 single crochet stitches, still using your 2.0 millimeter hook, you're going to chain 1 and chop the yarn. And now we are going to change the color of our yarn. We're going to use this light brown, and we are going to change also the size of the hook. I'll be using from now henceforth, I'll be using a 3.0 millimeter hook. So you start by making a slip knot, and onto the first stitch here, you're going to chain 1 and into the same space make a double crochet stitch. Into the next single crochet stitch, into the next double crochet stitch, into the next single crochet stitch. So this is the stitch we'll be using. Into the next double crochet stitch, into the next single crochet stitch. So continue making these stitches, and let's meet in that at the end. Onto our round 2, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, yarn over, make a double crochet stitch in this first single crochet stitch, and the previous double crochet stitch is going to get a single crochet stitch. A single crochet stitch is going to get a double crochet stitch. So this is the pattern. This is what we'll be doing. The previous stitch is getting a different stitch. For example, if it's a double crochet stitch, it's going to get a single crochet stitch, and a single crochet stitch is going to get a double crochet stitch. So it's like that. So let's continue until your work is, I like folding it into 2 in order to get the accurate measurements. So you will continue until your work is 9 inches long, including the ribbing part. So continue and let's meet when our work is 9 inches long. And if you have not understood what I'm talking about, just feel free to rewind the video again and again and watch to see just how to come up with this beautiful stitch. Very nice stitch. And another thing, make sure your stitches are loose. Make loose stitches. Whichever way you're going to hold your crochet hook, just hold it in a way you're going to be comfortable with it. So let's meet when our work is 9 inches long. So I'm done with my back panel. This is how it looks like. So you're going to chain 1 and cut off the yarn. So the front and the back panel are ready. Now for the sleeves part, we're going to make a similar one to this. So the procedure is just the same, just as we did in this back panel, but the difference is only that for the sleeves I chained 11 and went ahead and made 10 single crochet stitches. So there are 10 single crochet stitches. That is the distance from here to here. they were 11. Initially they were 11, and then I skipped one, and into the next I made a single crochet stitch, and by the end I had 10 single crochet stitches. So the piece is 3.5 long, just the same to this other side. So from there I made this single crochet stitch off the camera, but I had explained it here, so you can just do the same. And now we are going to change our crochet hook into number 3, and the stitch we are going to use is just the same one we've been using. So you're going to turn your work, and into the first single crochet stitch you're going to make a double crochet stitch. If you wish, you can hide this yarn or chop it off. So chain 1 and into the same stitch, same space, make a double crochet stitch, and into the next single crochet stitch, into the next double crochet stitch, to the next single crochet stitch, just like that. And let's meet the other side. So by the end I have 27 stitches. So you're going to chain 1, and we're going to make an increase here. So the first double crochet stitch is going to get 2 single crochet stitches. This is for the increase, and into this single crochet stitch is going to get a double crochet stitch, single, double, and into our last double crochet stitch is going to get a single crochet stitch. But from here now we are not going to make any increases. So into this you're going to place a double crochet stitch, and the next is a double crochet stitch, so it's getting a single crochet stitch. So this is the pattern. So you're going to do it like this until your work is until your work is 5 inches long, and then from there we are going to make more increases, but only 2 rounds. We are going to make increases in 2 rounds, but let's meet when our work is 5 inches long. So we are going, my work is now at 5 inches, so we are going to make increases, and as I had said, we are going to make 2 rows of increases. So you're going to chain 1, you turn your work and prepare a double crochet stitch. We should be preparing our double crochet stitch, but since we are going to make an increase here, after chaining 1, the single crochet stitch is going to get 2 single crochet stitches, so that is for the increase, and the double crochet stitch, the previous double crochet stitch, is going to get a single crochet stitch, and then you're going to continue placing the stitches accordingly. So by the end I should be having 29 stitches. and the next row I'm not going to make any increase, and into the row number 3 I'm going to make another increase. So by the end I should be having 30 30 stitches. That is from here to here. I should be having 30 stitches, which is equivalent to 6.5, 6.5, 7 there. Yeah, 6.5, and 6.5 according to my tension is equal to 30 stitches. So that's how to make an increase. So as I have said, the next row you're not going to make any increase, but into the next, the third, you're going to make an increase, and then now I'll be having my 30 stitches, and now from there I'll continue without making any increases until my work is like 7.25. Yes, 7.25. That is the height without stretching. 7.25. So let's meet there, and therefore from there you're going to start joining our work. And as I had said, make sure your stitches are loose. So this row we are not going to make any increase. You are going to chain 1 and turn your work. So our last stitch is a single crochet stitch, so it's going to get a double crochet stitch. You might be wondering, why am I chaining 1 instead of 3 in order to prepare my double crochet stitch? So I'm doing this because I don't want any spaces to be left. So if, for example, I chained 3 and placed my first double crochet stitch here, this is how my work will look like, and I didn't want this. So that's why I had decided to just chain 1 and yarn over, insert my hook into the first single crochet stitch and prepare and make a double crochet stitch. So that's why I've been chaining 1 instead of 3. So for the increasing, you can just rewind the video and see how I've made the increase, and that's what you're going to do. So for the increases, as you have seen, I am using single crochet stitches in making increases. So let's meet when our work is 7.25 inches long. Finally, our work is done, so it's there, 7.25 inches. So you're going to chain 1 and you're going to cut the yarn. Sorry, I'm not with my scissors. My scissors is far away from me. So the next step is joining these pieces to form a sweater. So this is the wrong side. And this is the wrong side. So you're going to combine them like this, the right side facing each other. And then we are going to start joining, but before that we need to leave 3 inches . 3 inches for the sleeves, and for the neck opening it should be 14 inches. This is 11.5, and we want 7 inches in the middle. So since this is 11.5, so we are going to 11.5 minus 7 is 4.5. 4.5 divided by 2 is 2.25. So 2.25 lies here. So here is where we are going to put our stitch marker. Can improvise, just use a contrasting yarn and it's going to help. So the same should apply into this other side. So this other side we are going to take away 2.25 inches, and that lies somewhere here. So with our stitch marker, so at first let us join from here to here, and then from here to here, and leave this part. So with our 3.0 millimeter hook, I'm going to start by making a slip knot. Then you insert your hook into this first stitch and this other one in this other side, and we are going to use slip stitches when joining. So you're going to chain 1, make a slip stitch into the next stitch, make a slip stitch, Dolly. To our last stitch, go ahead and make our last slip stitch. Then you're going to chain 1, no, I'm sorry, into our last. This should be our last. This one here, make a slip stitch, chain 1, and cut the yarn. So you do the same in this and other side. For the sleeves, we are going to leave 3 inches. Same applies into this other side. I'm going to start joining this side. So I'm going to make slip stitches, and same applies into this other side. So let's meet when we are done joining the two together. And now for the sleeves, you're going to hold it in the wrong side, determine the wrong side and fold it like that. So for this part here, I'm going to use a 2.0 millimeter hook with color yellow, and the rest I'm going to use the 3.0 to join. After joining, you're going to turn it into the right side. Then you're going to insert it here. So make sure the seam line matches with this one. So this is the seam line, it should lie here. So we are going to join this part here. Follow the same procedure in this other side, and now our sweater is almost ready. You turn it into the right side. So this is the front side. Now for the neck part, we are going to do some ribbing. So with this color yellow, then we are going to start here in the back. Just pick any point. You can even choose here in the middle, wherever. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Skip the first chain into the next. Make a single crochet stitch, and by the end you should be having 5 single crochet stitches. So this is 3, 4, and 5. You're going to place a single crochet into the next stitch, another single crochet into the next stitch, turn your work. You're going to skip the 2 single crochet stitches, and into the third make a single crochet back loop. You're going to make 4 of them, and into the 5th, this is number 4, and into the 5th you're going to grab both loops. Chain 1, turn your work, both loops, back loop, the 4. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So just make sure all round you have 5 single crochet stitches, and into the next stitch you're going to place a single crochet stitch. Into the next again, make another single crochet stitch, flip your work, skip the 2, and into the third make a single crochet back loop only. So you're going to repeat this until it comes here, and therefore you're going to join, and our work is done. Our newborn sweater is ready now. So let's take the final measurements. full length is 10 and 3/4, or you can just say 10 because it can stretch up to 10.5. And the sleeve length from the underarm to the wrist, that is 8 inches. And from the top here, from the shoulder, it's 10 inches. What else do we need to know? The shoulder to shoulder measurement is 20. Neck opening, it's 12, but it can stretch to 14. Yeah, that is it. And the height of the ribbing is 2 inches. And for the cuffs, it's 1.5. And here it's 1 inch on the top here. I'm giving you these measurements because just in case you're using a medium weight size yarn, so you just deal with the measurements I'm giving you instead of the stitches, because it might differ. And I'd recommend, if you're using a medium weight size, you should use a 4mm hook for this part, and for the ribbing use the 3mm hook if you're using a medium weight size. So that is it. So my next tutorial, I'll be working on the matching pants for this. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and feel free also to share to anyone whom you feel this video can be of good help to him or her. So thank you for your support. I really appreciate. And it's a bye for now. Let's meet in our next video.